Road to the championship is still on. Wow. 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 We have so much to discuss and so much to break down. This is Six of the Universe coming to you with the same energy and passion. And oh my God. This game was surprisingly, it became a roller coaster. First off, that the game starts off slow, and as Ben Simmons continues to destroy whatever trade value we have left, you're down double digits early in the first, and I'm like, alright, that's how the season is going. And I literally told myself, okay, the run is over. But Ben Simmons decided to suck in a different way than his usual way. Ben Simmons decided to get in foul trouble. He had this negative energy all night. He had the jersey all over his head. It was just, I can't wait until you complete the trade. But any illusions on Beal, Levine, etc., get out of your way. That's just not going to happen. I hope you're able to clear cap space or sign a star free agent. That's what I'm hoping. But thank the Lord that he played that bad and literally almost fouled out. Thank you. Because those fouls, and Tobias Harris has some fouls too. This goes to Doc Rivers' substitution pattern. The hero of the game and of the season is Tyrese Maxey. It shouldn't come as a surprise, because when this kid had been put in unfavorable situations, he had to play the COVID game against the Denver Nuggets, puts up 39. He played an effective game of basketball against Miami. We scouted some of that. We scouted the Detroit Pistons game and the Atlanta Magic game where he played a high level as a starter, and it was phenomenal. For a 20-year-old guy who you don't have an NCAA tournament, you don't have a real training camp. Preseason was only 2 games. And Doc is yo-yoing him back and forth. You're never able to get any consistency for a player who is so skilled. I think that Doc needs to tell himself, and I hope that this do-or-die Game 6 is the final confirmation of evidence that Doc Rivers needs to say, you know what? He is not a rookie. He is a good basketball player. He is a player that I could trust with the ball in my hands moving forward, whether we win or lose Game 7 or not. This kid is a part of what you're building here. This kid is one of the top 5 players on the court. He is one of the top 5 players the Sixers have. Furkan Korkmaz should not be starting. I've had enough of Furkan Korkmaz. The only thing for Furkan is that Kevin Huerter was struggling. Bojan Bogdanovic was struggling. Thank the Lord. But there isn't really anything that Furkan Korkmaz brings on either end of the court. Broach Talk hit him up. He's a real smart, intelligent guy. And Broach Talk has been on this Korkmaz thing from the beginning. I've been lukewarm. I never really liked Korkmaz. But I'm at the Broach level of this. I don't think that Furkan belongs in this rotation moving forward. I would not mind. And in fact, I wouldn't even put the money into re-signing this guy. I'm just not interested. I'm sorry. I mean, between Furkan, Matisse Thybulle is not a wingman. He's a tweener guard that doesn't have any offensive game. I don't even know what Matisse Thybulle seriously is. Because to me, Thybulle's defense, he's right back to this whole, he's trying to get steals and blocks over playing fundamentally sound defense. And when he has that mindset, it really makes him almost unplayable, just like with Ben. I feel like unless Matisse somehow develops an offensive game out of nowhere. And I don't have that belief because with prospects, they have a certain profile. Now, I have disagreed and have contended in the past with the idea that, oh, just because you're a 4-year senior out of college doesn't necessarily mean that your upside is zero. In fact, there's a couple of seniors in this draft that I would love it if they were at 28 for the Sixers. Matisse is different. Matisse has shown no offensive development throughout college. It doesn't look like you have a handle. It doesn't really look like you have a feel for offense. So, in Matisse's case, 4 years of college, this is your second NBA season, going into your third season. I feel like Matisse, for the rest of his NBA career, is always going to be 10 to 15 minutes per game. And the problem I have with Matisse is I'm going to need my starting lineup and I'm going to need my bench, depending on wherever he is. I'm going to need them to have 3 or 4 offensive guys to make up for the fact that he is an offensive liability. I love what Matisse brings me, but when Matisse is bad Matisse, it really shows. And I'm not sure from a body wingspan perspective, am I going to call you a shooting guard or a small forward? I don't really know. I don't know in a bad sense. I don't feel as though he's a wingman. It's not like I could put Matisse on Bojan Bogdanovic. He was guarding some forwards, in that run that we had at the end of the regular season with some success. So maybe, I don't know, but right now I'm not in a good place with Matisse Thybulle. From a scouting perspective, I'm not in a good place. Hasn't really shown me much. The one who did show me much was Tyrese Maxey. Oh my God. That second 3-pointer, it didn't go in because apparently, the foul on Lou Williams occurred before Tyrese had his motion. But oh my God, he was shooting the 3 with confidence, shooting the J with confidence. Because I feel like what Doc probably told him when he first put him in the game is like, you know what? We're probably going to lose this anyway, so just go and ball out. And that's the other thing, too. I feel like at times Doc tells Tyrese to run the stuff, a high dribble, pin down action for Tobias, etc. And that just phases Tyrese Maxey out of the game. Tyrese can play point guard, but I feel like, and maybe this is a general criticism too, Fiago for the painted lines, we've had this back and forth discussion. There's a lack of dynamism in the dot of his offense. If Ben Simmons' offense was running with your head headless, then the dot of his offense is structured to a fault. There's not enough off-ball movement and there's not enough free-flowing passing to where a guy like Tyrese Maxey, when he just runs the stuff, sometimes, if Tyrese doesn't get the ball back, he's just standing there in the corner, and Tyrese is just too good not to have the ball in his hand. So that's something that hopefully is worked on as Doc realizes that he's one of the best players on the team. Because he is. Regardless of rookie status, regardless of being a rookie, Tyrese Maxey is one of the best players on the Sixers. Just like, with Devontae Smith already being one of the best wide receivers for the Eagles. Similar situation. Rookie, first year, be damn, Doc. Tyrese Maxey is one of your best players. And you need to give this kid the rock and give him the same freedom that you've been force hamming Shake Milton. That's the other adjustment. Shake Milton minutes. Nada. Did not play coaches of Twitter. I think he only had 2 minutes, really. But thank God. Thank the Lord that Shake Milton did not really play in this game. Thank God. And my Lord of heaven. Even in the 2 minutes that he did play, you saw the same things. Watching Shake Milton try to dribble a basketball is, like porn that should be illegal, like some illegal thing like that. That's what Shake Milton is, dribbling a basketball. It is illegal. It should be a crime to watch Shake Milton dribble a basketball. It should be illegal. It should be rated XXXXX. Watching Shake Milton dribble the basketball is absolutely butthurt. I don't ever want to see it again. If you're going to play Shake Milton, Doc, he's strictly a shooting guard and he's catch and shoot. If he gets the ball, tell him, if you have a straight line, it's just like with Tobias. Straight line, shoot, or pass. You do not have the right to put the ball on the floor ever again. My God. I don't know what happened with him because I thought he did have a decent handle, last year. Wasn't anything spectacular, but I thought he had a decent enough handle. But now it's, and until he gets back to last year's level, I don't want him dribbling a ball ever again. Ever again, period. Like, Shake Milton is the new Ronetto. Just stop it. And that's what happened today. And that was another part of it. Shake Milton not getting any minutes. It really hurts that Danny Green is out. It does. It hurts that Danny Green is out. Because if Danny Green went on rotation, Furkan Korkmaz gets us minutes and Shake Milton gets us minutes. You're bleeding with those minutes. Every time Korkmaz and Shake Milton touch the floor. Some H2O. But yeah, you're bleeding minutes for those two guys on the floor. But there was a lot of things to be encouraged about in this Game 7. Tobias Harris has had a pretty good playoffs until the last 2 games. And today, you were able to do a better job of getting switches. If they're putting Bogdan on them, then take Bogdan off with a screen. And we did that a lot better. If Tobias Harris is a player that you need mismatches for, okay, that may not be a max, but that's still a player that you can use if you move your chess pieces. And I feel like Doc did a much better job of moving your chess pieces and being involved. So that's another factor that helped you with this game. So you get Tobias. And now the second part of the big story. Seth Curry. Am I glad to be wrong? I did not mind the Seth Curry trade from the standpoint of the player. I was always like, decent old spot-up shooter, but we're trying to get a superstar here, and this is an $8 million fee-year contract. And it's like, we're not a spot shooter away, is what I thought. And we all know why. A certain number 25 has just decided to do this, and just decided to go AWOL. And that's something for Daryl Morey to fix. So I didn't think that we were a spot shooter away. Now, if you told me that we got prime Ray Allen, that would have been a different conversation. Seth Curry is becoming Ray Allen. And I don't mean in terms of, he's always been a good shooter. But now Seth Curry can not only shoot open jump shots, but contested jump shots. He could pull up and hit a pull-up jumper every once in a while. Seth Curry's diverse offensive game off the dribble as a guard, you are now in Ray Allen sort of territory. Now, Ray Allen, of course, is a Hall of Famer, but here's the thing about being in the Hall of Fame. Part of it is your own numbers, and then part of it is the team that you were on. Seth Curry is bounced around with the Blazers. You had the 1 year with Luka Doncic. Seth Curry never had this opportunity to be a 30-minute per game starter. And he's really hitting his stride right now in the playoffs, which is amazing. Defense is tightening up, rotation is tightening up. Everyone knows you. Everyone knows Seth Curry, Seth Curry, Seth Curry. You don't think Nate McMillan has Seth Curry on scouting, especially, at the first 2 games of the Hawks series. Nate McMillan definitely says, stick Seth Curry. And Seth Curry is basically trading blow for blow from beyond the arc right now from the 3-point line. The emergence of Seth Curry as a Ray Allen player, that is, as a legitimate starting shooting guard. The Sixers may have their backcourt Seth Curry is my shooting guard. Tyrese Maxey is my point guard. They complement. Tyrese is the driver. Seth will be outside shooting the basketball. It's a blessing. It really is to have Seth Curry 2 more years on $8 million. So that is big. We have our shooting guard of the future. Not the long, lanky type of shooting guard, long, lanky wings in general that this front office has historically wanted to look at before Daryl Morey. But he may not be the shooting guard that we wanted, but he's the shooting guard that we absolutely need. And he's the shooting guard we deserve. So, props to Seth Curry for pulling a Ray Allen out of his ass during this postseason run. Absolutely sensational. Now, here is why we should be pumped for Game 7. And there was a little bit of an early tissy-tot. The refs lost control of the game. There was a lot of pushing and hacking. Both sides. It was a real story of emphasis. No up your Sixers starter until late in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, got to the foul line. I thought this refereeing crew, they lost control of the game early and often. It was a bad officiating job. I know we say let them play, but that doesn't mean distort the game to where both teams are kind of hacking at each other, and now you're going to get to a point where a little tissel-tassel like that will happen because you lost control. We don't want anarchy, and we don't want dictatorship. We want a medium balance to where you are a good part of the action. Part of the action is not the way to say it. Okay. Where you are a medium of the game that is in equal flow and proportion. We need you to be a part of the flowing nature of the basketball game, is what I'm trying to say. That's what we need. We need good officiating. Not non-existent officiating, not bad officiating. We need good officiating on both sides. If our guys foul, they foul. I am a believer in the firm spirit of this game that if we foul, so be it. But the referees on both sides, literally ESPN had a tweet at the end of a timeout. Doc Rivers is in one ear. Trae Young is in the other ear. When you get to that point as an officiating crew, you failed the job. And that's why that tissel-tassel between Joel Embiid and John Collins happened. But it literally, John Collins, first of all, he had a dunk that should have been called offensive foul because John Collins used his off arm to literally shove Joel Embiid's head. That should have been an offensive foul, bucket reverse, refs failed to call it. And then with the offensive foul, John Collins grabs Joel Embiid by the shorts, ends up pulling him down after the contact. The elbow came after the pulling of the jersey, which in of itself should have been a defensive foul. If that defensive foul were called, and there was literally another play later in the game on the far left side of the court where I believe it was Furkan Korkmaz who literally gets pushed down to the ground. The baseline ref is literally standing right there, and he failed to make the call. Basically, my message to the officiating crew of Game 6, you completely and totally and utterly failed. It really is to a point of ridiculous, where the officiating is just that bad. I say that to say this. We know what Joel Embiid has been for this postseason. We know what Joel Embiid has been in this postseason. Joel Embiid's not going to have another struggling game like that. As Hawk fans, you know. Joel Embiid's at home. Philadelphia is at home. And you know what Joel Embiid has been for 85% of this series. If the Sixers can navigate Ben Simmons, can navigate this monstrosity that he has become, then the season is still alive. We can still win this and get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll talk about the Eastern Conference Finals when and if we get there. And if we do, Game 5 will be I don't think you can ever forget Game 5 and its magnitude. I think Game 5 will definitely determine a lot of off-season moves when we get there. Oh, sorry. One second. An automatic light is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Let me give people some advice. Don't ever get an automatic light. It's stupid. But I feel like the Game 5 is going to determine so much of what this front office does in the offseason. You literally blew a combined 44 points. So even if we get to this Eastern Conference Finals, they're only looking at it and he's going to be like, you know what? This isn't it. This is not it. And who knows what it is going to be. So we win today. Our season was extended to Sunday, but Ben Simmons did not answer any questions today. And he might not be able to answer questions in Game 7 either. So there was a big looming thing that's still here. It's not whether or not he's going to be here. He's not. It's, can we get the value that we need for what we improperly invested? It's so hard. I would love to be like, yes! And I am like, yes! For what we did. But, you know, how my mind, similar again to a Bosch talk, how my mind goes is long term, I want this team to win a championship. And I don't ever see a world where Ben Simmons is a part of it. I don't. Literally, he wasn't the ninth. And so this big question is going to be the center of what this front office does. Because a 20-year-old rookie just took Ben's job. So, you know, who knows? But this upcoming offseason, when it happens, whether it happens after Sunday, if we win, it will definitely happen after Sunday, obviously. But whether we win or lose Game 7, this is the pivotal question and a pivotal time for the front office. So I am high on the win, but this offseason is going to be so huge. Because it's going to be about building Mount Joel Embiid for real. Six of the Universe, signing off. Peace.